to combat the likes of the Gascoignes, but it's no reflection at all on the way Billy played on Saturday.
You come into this match more or less injury-free. Is this the strongest Motherwell side you could feel?
I feel it is, yeah, at the present moment in time. The players at the beginning of the season, we lost Tommy Coyne, we lost one or two others. Dougie Arnott, fortunately, has steered clear of injury. And it was nice to get Tommy back, and I feel that he's responded well on Saturday again with two cracking goals. Well, one was a penalty, but his movement and his sharpness in general was very good.
A lot of teams come here to Ibrox, they sit in and they try and steal the game on the break. How will Motherwell approach it tonight?
Well, we'll try. We won't sit in. I hope that the players don't sit in, because I think that's inviting trouble. We hope that we can counter Rangers very effectively. I feel that we've got the players to do it. The defence has been playing very well. They've got to maintain that type of form. But at the same time, we appreciate how well Rangers are playing.
Do you look upon your visit to Ibrox as being your most difficult league fixture of the season?
Well, up to date, yeah, so far, I would say that this is the most difficult one. Particularly as they are on a high at the moment. And Rangers and the legions behind them here at Ibrox, I don't know if they'll get a full house tonight, but let's hope so. The players relish playing in that. I relish playing under those type of conditions, and it's just a bit bottled area on the night.
Thanks, Alec.
Thanks.
I'll soon find out if they have it. Motherwell's summer spending was restricted to £200,000, the purchase of John Henry from Tottenham. The squad that had finished runners-up to Rangers last season promised much, but delivered little in the early part of this term. For Alex McLeish and Motherwell, the season started early and badly, surprisingly knocked out of Europe by the Finnish side Maipa on the away goals rule. That was all before the league season started, and when it did, it was looking good at Tynecastle when Dougie Arnott gave Motherwell the lead. But that was cancelled out by David Hagan, and a pattern of league draws was set. In the Coca-Cola Cup, a tricky away tie at Dundee United was successfully negotiated. Partick Thistle were the first league visitors to Fir Park, and they were leading until 3 minutes to go when Nicky Walker presented his old side with a point. Next, a trip to Celtic Park.
O'Donnell gets away from Martin. Oh, that's a marvellous goal by Phil O'Donnell. McLean getting the touch, it's Arnott. And Motherwell are back in this game.
Motherwell against Aberdeen took second billing to the Old Firm in the Coca-Cola Cup quarter-finals, but it was no less exciting. Dougie Arnott gave Motherwell the lead, but after Billy Dodd's equaliser took the match to extra time, John Ingles got the winner for Aberdeen, and they went into the last four. A goalless draw at Falkirk followed, but it finally came good for Motherwell last Saturday. Kilmarnock were the victims, with Tommy Coyne the central figure in their destruction. He got the first goal, and Eddie May got the second. Tommy Coyne rounded off victory with the third from the spot. Alex McLeish has been happy with the way his team has been playing. On Saturday, they started to get the rewards. Tonight, they're after the biggest scalp of them all. This is how the Motherwell League season has shaped up so far. Played 5, won only 1, that was last Saturday. Drawn 4, lost none, points 7, 4, 6 against 3. And away from home, well, they've played 3, won none of them, drawn all 3 of them, lost none, of course, points 3, 4, 2, and against 2. Costly these days when you draw even away from home. The top league scorers, Coyne with 2, both of them on Saturday, Arnott with 2 as well. That's what they've done so far this season. What about tonight? Davy Provan has the team news.
Yes, we have the teams here at Ibrox, Bill. The Rangers, of course, having won that Old Firm derby match at Celtic Park on Saturday, go into this one 2 points clear at the top. But although Motherwell lie in 5th place, 5 points behind the leaders, Alex McLeish's side haven't lost any of their first 5 league matches. Let's have a look, first of all, at the Rangers side. No Brian Laudrup or Charlie Miller in the Rangers side, and we heard Walter Smith voice his concerns over that situation. And they joined Trevor Stephen and David Robertson on the injury list. Walter Smith makes 3 other changes in the starting lineup from the side that won at Celtic Park on Saturday. No Stephen Wright tonight, no Oleg Selenko, and no Stuart McCall. He starts the match on the bench. In their place, Craig Moore, Alexei Mikhailichenko, and Gordon Jury. 4 of this Rangers side named by Craig Brown today for the friendly international in Sweden next week. Andy Gorham, Alan McLaren, Stuart McCall and Ali McCoist. And fullback Stephen Wright, who's also absent tonight, named in the B squad. Let's now move on to the Motherwell side. And this is arguably the strongest side that Alex McLeish could field tonight. One very significant change in their lineup from the side which defeated Kilmarnock 3-0 on Saturday. Jamie Dolan, the man who very often is asked to win the ball and anchor that midfield, in at the expense of Billy Davis. And Alex McLeish told me it was a bitterly disappointed Billy Davis when he broke the news to him that he wasn't playing just over an hour ago. And of the Motherwell side, Brian Martin, Rob McKinnon and Paul Lambert named in Craig Brown's squad for the B International in Sweden next week. That's the team news here at Ibrox, Bill. Less than 20 minutes to kick off. For the moment, back to you.
Thanks, Davey. Immediate reaction from the Scotland boss, Craig Brown. Interesting from an international perspective. 2 full internationals go straight into the Rangers side as they reshuffle.
Yes, I think the Rangers team is a very interesting one. They're bringing back the Australian lad, Moore, in the right-back position, and Stephen Wright's out. And interesting, too, from my point of view, that Stuart McCall is on the bench. I think Walter's probably resting Stuart, keeping him because they have a very, very heavy fixture list. But obviously, the key thing, I think, there is something Alec McLeish said. He's got Dolan in there. And clearly Dolan is in to combat Gascoigne, Paul Gascoigne. But Motherwell have 2 good midfield players on either side of him, with Paul Lambert and Sean McSkimming. So I'd imagine that Dolan will look after Gascoigne and try to allow Lambert and McSkimming to play.
Well, Nigel, is Gascoigne going to be pinned down by Jamie Dolan?
I don't think so. I think Gaz is such a good player. I mean, he's used to man-to-man marking wherever he plays, and playing in Italy, playing in internationals. I think he'll enjoy the challenge, I think, knowing Gaza.
Let's just have a look at the Motherwell lineup again. Jamie Dolan there is the key switch, a tactical switch, and always difficult, Nigel, for a manager when someone like Davis has had a good game on Saturday to drop him.
Yes, it's difficult for a manager to do that, but if he thinks it's for the best thing to do for the side, then he's got to do it. And coming to Ibrox, you know that you're going to have a hard game anyway, and if you let Gascoigne run the show at home, you know you could open the floodgates and lose by plenty of goals. So I think if he's going to man-to-man mark him, then you know, he's got to go that way, I think, to try and keep the score down. Because if Rangers get an early goal, then, you know, and Motherwell chasing the game, if Gaza gets in his stride, you never know what will happen.
Craig, a lot of responsibility on the shoulders of Tommy Coyne tonight. He scored 2 on Saturday. People are looking for him to try to dent the Ibrox defence. He knows them. He played for Celtic against Rangers. He knows the situation.
Yeah, Tommy's a very experienced striker, and given half a chance, he'll score. He's cool in front of goal. He doesn't panic at all. And you see him there tucking it away. Many a young striker would have had a blast at that, but Tommy placed it. And you see his penalty as well. I think Tommy Coyne, Dougie Arnott actually has an excellent record against the Old Firm in the striking department. Another interesting thing there, with the 3 Motherwell substitutes are all attack-minded. Davis, Andy Roddy and young Burns. So Alec is very positive. He's got Jamie Dolan in there in a holding operation. But if he's to bring on anyone, he'll be bringing on one of the attack-minded players.
So there's the man on the field himself there. That is the thing about Motherwell. When they come to Ibrox, they don't sit back. They have won there recently.
They won't sit back, I'm sure of that. In fact, this is going to be very interesting because both teams are matched up in a 3-5-2 formation. I would expect that, and I expect Rangers to play their usual way. So it's a very interesting fixture. Tactically, I'll be most intrigued to see how they match up against each other, and I'm sure they will. And that's why, as I say, Jamie Dolan is in there.
Dougie Arnott, Nigel, now you played against him many times. He seems to have been in the team for years, but he's always scoring.
I think he's a very good player, Dougie. I remember when we finally won the championship on the last game of the season against Aberdeen. The week before we lost it, Motherwell, I think 3-0, and I think Dougie scored 2 that day. You can't give him too much space, otherwise he'll punish you. And I think, like Tommy Coyne, he loves scoring against Rangers.
Motherwell's answer to Ali McCoist in a way, isn't he? He picks up from scraps.
He does, and you need, as I was saying earlier, you need a player who can just toe-end it in or knock it in with their knee or anything. You need a goal scorer, and he certainly does that for Motherwell.
But the feature we've seen this season, Craig, is can you get into the Ibrox box? Celtic couldn't.
No, that's a problem. I think Motherwell may do better in that department because they're very, very positive. They've got 2 wide players who like to get forward. Eddie May on the right, who likes to get forward, and so does Rob McKinnon on the left. And the delivery from May and McKinnon is excellent. If they can get into wide areas, they'll get good balls into the box, and that's where we, Dougie and Tommy Coyne, excel. So I think Motherwell have a good chance to get into the Rangers box, but again, to finish the ball and to put it in the net is going to be difficult. I hope my prediction is wrong, but I think goals will be hard to come by.
We're hoping it's wrong as well, Craig.
We want a lot of goals, but I think the defences here will be on top, and I think it'll be very difficult, particularly for Motherwell to score, and equally difficult in a sense for Rangers to score.
Paul Lambert's one of the playmakers in the Motherwell side, another ex-St Mirren man, and I know you particularly like his style of play, Craig.
Yes, I do. We gave Paul 2 caps during the summer. We went to Japan in the summer, and Paul played very well at the start of the game against Japan. We had John Spencer got ordered off, so we had to reshuffle and we took him off. But then he came on and he also played against Ecuador, so he's a full international player now. And I think that's given him a bit of confidence. We've named him in the B squad, but Paul Lambert is a most capable player, runs at people very well with the ball.
Gordon Jury's one of the changes to the Rangers side. Now, what an embarrassment of riches up front Rangers have at the moment, even though they've sold Mark Hateley.
Yeah, it's unbelievable that they can keep producing players like Gordon Jury from the bench, and when you see that Salenko's not playing tonight, the riches are great there, but that's good planning on Walter's part. I think he's now getting it. The last couple of seasons, if he had an injury or two, they struggled slightly. But now he's got such a comprehensive coverage in every area that I'm sure, here's Gordon Jury, I'm sure Gordon will do very well.
Nigel, you would know Jury from playing against him rather than with him. What sort of player is he?
Well, he was actually came down to Chelsea last time I was at Chelsea. He came down and did well, and then unfortunately he kept getting injured. I don't know if it was a change from Scottish football to English football. Or he was a young lad. He kept picking up injuries, but he did very well when he left Chelsea and went to Tottenham for a time. He did very well. But Gordon likes to peel off into wide positions, and it gives defenders problems there. He likes to run at people. He comes wide, and maybe that's why he doesn't score as many goals as maybe the likes of McCoist does, because he does a lot of work for the team, and he's quick and strong, and I think he'll cause Motherwell problems tonight with running at them. And
Alexei Mikhailichenko, one of those players that Walter Smith gambled on early on. It seemed for a while as if the gamble wasn't paying off, but he's found his feet time and time again for Rangers.
Yes, and he got a new one-year contract, I think, at the start of the season. I mean, his skill is undoubtedly, up there with everybody who's at the pinnacle of the game, Sampdoria and all that. I remember playing with him at Falkirk, and he tried to chip the goalie from the halfway line. He does extraordinary things, but he needs a good run in the side, and the problem is for Alexei is that you've got Brian Loud up there, and really if Brian's playing and playing so well, he's not really getting a run in the side, but with Brian being out now, he might get a good run in the side, and we'll see the best of Alexei.
OK, well, it's only, 10 minutes away, but we'll be going live to Ibrox for full coverage of Rangers against Motherwell. It's the teams that finished first and second in the League Championship last year. Rangers have started well. Motherwell have some catching up to do. Can they break through the best defence in Britain? Find out after the break. Yeah. Now, what are the match odds tonight? This is how the bookies see it. Rangers are favourites for almost anything these days. They are 2-1 on. Motherwell are 6-1 to win the match tonight. Incredible odds. The draw is 9-4. As for the first scorer, that man McCoist is listed at 7-2. Jury is 7-1. Coyne 7-1 also. Arnott 9-1. Gascoigne is 10-1. If you fancy a flutter, what about Alex Cleland at 28-1? Well, there they are. It seems long odds for a man who opened the scoring in the Old Firm match there. McSkimming, another favourite for Motherwell, 16-1. Lambert, 25-1. Well, let's go now live to Ibrox Stadium in Glasgow. The commentator tonight is, first of all, Jock Brown, and with him is Terry Butcher.
Hi, Bill. A terrific occasion in prospect tonight. Conditions absolutely perfect inside Ibrox. The pitch in great condition. Overhead is terrific. No wind. It should be ideal, Terry, for the game. But can you believe these odds? 6-1 against Motherwell.
Well, I can't believe that they came here in April and won quite convincingly 2-0, and they've got a good record here in recent years, and they are a very difficult side to beat. They've got to be confident. They haven't lost a league game this season. They won on Saturday and scored 3 goals, so I think they'll... they've got quite a few supporters here as well, so I should imagine that they'll be confident about doing well.
And also we've got the team news, and they're getting Rangers have had to make changes. Will that disrupt their pattern of play, do you think?
No, I think Walter Smith's been very confident. He said, right, this is the way that I'm going to play this season. It doesn't matter if he's lost personnel, he's not really changed things around. He said, right, to hell with it, this is the way we are going to play. Different players are out, other players come in, and they have to fit into this system, simple as that. And if the players know that the manager says this is the way they're going to play, then they have to go and do it.
So the Rangers fans congregating here, 1 or 2 empty seats. They'll be filled before the end. The average crowd here for league matches at Ibrox this season is in excess of 44,000. It's truly remarkable, the total revival of fortunes here over the last few years, inspired, of course, to some extent by the man beside me, Terry Butcher, when he arrived in 1986. Motherwell, though, bringing a support full of confidence. They too seeing signs now. This side is coming back to the form which has served them so well for the last 2 seasons, finishing third and then second under Alec McLeish. So really they will be a major threat, and that's why these odds seem to be totally incredible, bearing in mind the fact, Terry, that Hibs were able to win here just about 10 days ago.
Well, Rangers had a lot of possession in that game against Hibs and couldn't break down a very strong and resolute Hibs defence. So whether that be the case tonight, I'm not too sure. But Motherwell themselves have some good footballers in their team. Tommy Coyne, especially Dougiana up front. He's like a wasp, one of these bees and wasps that keep floating around. You just can't get rid of him, and he's there. Always there. He's very quick, very elusive, very stocky. He didn't come into the game until he was 26. You were telling me earlier, which is a remarkable fact. But he's getting better and better with every year that he plays in the Premier League.
One disappointment, I suspect, for Walter Smith is the fact that Oleg Salenko, who's contributed so well in the last few league matches, is not able to play tonight. Is that a major problem, you think?
Well, he has improved. He's like Paul Gascoigne in a way. The more games that he plays, the better he is, the better the understanding is around this new system that Walter Smith has introduced. But it does give other people a chance to come into the side and stake their claim. People like Gordon Durie, Alexei Mikhailchenko, who's playing in midfield tonight for his first game for quite a while. So, you know, when players like Craig Moore's in at right back, when players get a chance to come in, they have an opportunity to really impress the manager, but get out there and get some valuable and regular first-team football.
Well, an indication there of the status of Paul Gascoigne in Glasgow at the moment, after some very fast improving performances in recent weeks.
Yeah, I wonder what colour hair he had there. I wonder what colour Gaz is going to have his hair next week. But I mean, there is a lot of Gaza mania. Obviously, the Motherwell supporters are going to be obviously anti-Gaza, trying to bait him and everything else. But he's proved he's got the bottle. He's proved he's got the ability to take all the criticism and all the stick and everything and turn in good performances. And obviously, with every game that he plays, he has improved. But it's a chance for the Motherwell players, especially. They look quite tense when they're coming out. But I suppose they just want to get out there on a park, which has brought them good rewards in the past few visits.
The man leading them out, he's been a terrific servant to them. Chris McCart, the captain. Brian Martin is number 5 there. Jamie Dolan leaning on the pillar. Rob McKinnon behind them. Little Dudy on it there. Tommy Coyne showing the tension, the pre-match nerves. He waits to become involved. John Phillippen looking more relaxed there. Dudy on it. Coaching there, waiting to go. Jamie Dolan with a smile. There's some wise cracks there in the line of players. Sean Mick skimming there. Scott Howe, the goalkeeper. There's the skipper.
There'll be some boys cracks tomorrow when John Phillippen takes his daughter to school. He's taking his daughter to the same school as I take my son, so if he loses, I'll give him some stick tomorrow.
Richard Goff there, the Rangers captain, also looking tense. Every match, of course, a big occasion here at Ibrox. Andy Gordon exchanging words there with Scott Howe, the young Motherwell goalkeeper. Harry McCoy with that perpetual smile on his face going out. Phil Crombie there, the 4th official at the back. There's the reception. So the team's welcomed onto this magnificent surface. Terrific arena here, and there's confirmation of the Rangers team showing the absence through injury of Oleg Salenko and Stephen Wright from Saturday's successful team against Celtic. Brian Laudrup and David Robertson still unfit. Stuart McCall, his fitness problems keep him on the bench. Places for Craig Moore, Alexei Mikhailchenko and Gordon Durie, internationals all.
Well, this is the way that Rangers line up with the Petric, Goff, McLaren threesome at the back, proving the rock that Rangers have built their success on so far. Gascoigne, Ferguson and Mikhailchenko in midfield. Obviously long spelling names and they're hard to fit on the monitor, but they'll try and match up against the 3 from Motherwell. That's a key area for me tonight.
And Motherwell have made just one tactical change from the team which beat Kilmarnock on Saturday. The strength and tackling ability of Jamie Dolan is preferred to the clever creative play of Billy Davis in Paul Gascoigne's area of the pitch. Leaving aside Motherwell's long-term casualties, Miodraki Vukovic and Mitchell van der Gag, that looks like their strongest side.
Well, as you can see, they've lined up virtually the same as Rangers, so it's virtually man versus man in the centre of midfield and up front as well. But it's the front 2 of Motherwell that have scored so many goals and posed so many problems for defences. It'll be interesting to see how they go on against that formidable threesome for Rangers. So in these 4 league matches last season between the 2 sides, honours even,
2 wins apiece, 6 goals apiece over the 4 matches. So every reason to expect a very tense and close contest tonight. The referee is Jim McGilvray from Edinburgh. Now been resolved that Motherwell will kick off, I think. Some confusion about that. Gordon Jury wasn't sure about that. Referee McGilvray is satisfied. So applause of anticipation as Motherwell start the match. Jamie Dolan trying to use Sean McSkimming in the far side straight away. John, experienced referee for tonight's match, Jim McGilvray from Edinburgh. Craig Moore in ball straight away, forcing that ball forward. So Motherwell will try to play, I think, as much of this game as they can in the Rangers half. That's where they're more comfortable. Rob McKinnon pushing forward on that left-hand side. Marvellous signing from Hartlepool 3 years ago. So first touch for Andy Gordon. And Alexei Mikhailichenko chasing that on his own through the middle. So there's action elsewhere, of course, in Manchester United clawing back that 3-goal deficit at York City. 2-0 they lead tonight. Just 14 minutes gone. Remarkable start. So Brian Martin now for Motherwell. McLaren comes to meet that. Alex Cleland, who had such an outstanding match against Celtic on Saturday. Ball straight away. That's Ian Ferguson. Space on the far side for Moore. Petric offers himself inside. He's been very influential indeed at the back for Rangers. Good challenge made there by Philibin. Rob McKinnon was caught by Jury. It's a free kick to Motherwell. So undefeated in the league, Motherwell. And Rob McKinnon had some injury problems earlier on. That may be another one for him, that snapping tackle, which made that into a free kick to Motherwell. Here's Martin. McLaren again having plenty of time to pick out Alec Cleland. Mikhailichenko. McCoist gaining in sharpness with every match. That's going through a gap that Paul Lambert was alert for Motherwell. Whistled out of that by Ferguson. This is Moore. Ferguson playing it wide, trying to pick out the run made by Gordon Jury. Well, Jury has had to be very versatile for Rangers in his career here, playing on both flanks, midfield and through the middle.
I think Wallace Smith's trying to play a little bit of a tactical game here. He's keeping Jury wide on the right-hand side. Alexei Mikhailichenko is wide on the left-hand side, and it's Paul Gascoigne and Ian Ferguson in the centre midfield, with Alec Cleland and Craig Moore pushed in a little bit as well. So an interesting system from Wallace Smith to try and peg back the full-backs of Motherwell and try and get Alexei Mikhailichenko into his best position with his left foot.
Here's Brian Martin. Mikhailichenko now with that ricochet has a chance to find McCoist, but a little bit ambitious there from long range. McCoist having a great run through the inside left channel. Mikhailichenko getting a look at goal there.
I must be quite psychic here. I said about getting into the best positions with his left foot. Here he is there, striking the ball not quite as he would have liked it, probably about 2 or 3 yards wide, but that's what Wallace Smith's trying to do, get him onto that ball about 30 or 40 yards out so he can pinpoint crosses or pinpoint shots with his left foot.
Lambert stealing that away from Mikhailichenko. Alec Cleland, I think, may make an extra man in the midfield in a more orthodox fashion tonight. Alan McLaren playing it forward. It's Jury. Gascoigne. Back now with Goff. Craig Moore well forward. Another indication of the Rangers' tactics. Philibin goes across. He was fouled there, I think, by Moore. It'll be a free kick to Motherwell. Craig Moore and Alec Cleland certainly playing a long way forward.
Yes, but you're trying to push them on here. Here comes Craig Moore coming in there. No need really to make the challenge because John Philibin was really going to play it out for a corner. He invited the challenge in there, I think, John Philibin, but no need to do that because the ball was already going for the corner kick. So a bit of a rash play by Craig Moore. He's probably just trying to get into the game and try and make his first tackle felt.
Ferguson playing it wide. Here's Cleland tucked in into the centre of the field there. Gascoigne's chested pass. Gascoigne again trying to get on the ball as much as he can. Here's Cleland, who's very quick indeed. Showing enough of that to Brian Martin. Here's Lambert, made an international debut in Japan in the summer. Skimming, a B international. Here's Eddie May from Motherwell. Settling in process here, these passes being exchanged. Motherwell very much a passing team. Arnott trying to put pressure on McLaren. And McLaren's clearance under pressure, reaching May. Tommy Coyne called for that in the middle. Goff intercepts. Late challenge there by McSkimming and McLaren, and McLaren, to his credit, indicating to the referee there wasn't anything in that of malice or significance. Gascoigne, head up all the time, looking for the pass. That's a good ball forward. Mikhalichenko met there by McCart. Dolan to Lambert. Coyne makes a run. Eddie May arriving late, but he won't outpace Cleland. Goff to McLaren, confident play in defence from Rangers. It's asking a lot of Goff, and a very reckless ball that by Alec Cleland. He has a word there from Richard Goff. Forced it there, Rangers, to get away with the goal kick.
I think he probably got more than a strong word from Richard Goff, just playing the ball, Richard allowing the ball to come across him, and that looked as though I went for a corner then from the camera behind the goal, but he was disappointed about that passing across there. Sometimes you can overplay in the wrong areas and allow teams to nick balls off you, and obviously Dougie Arnott, like we talked about before, being a bit of a wasp, almost nicked the ball off Richard Goff.
Well, a good interchange initially there between Jury and McCoist. Final pass goes through to Scott Howie, formerly of Clyde and Norwich City. McLaren has the task of looking after Dougie Arnott. Careless one there, which just missed Gascoigne. Ferguson was there. Rangers were a little dangerous there, these passes from defence. Full of confidence in view of their terrific record so far. A record which has seen Andy Gorham have 8 shutouts in 12 matches. Gillison again. Coyne, back goes to Dolan. Well, the passing not good enough. Alec McLeish on his feet down below is very upset with that pass. An unforced error, I think you'd call that.
The Rangers really just trying to keep passing, and it's a different system to what Rangers used last season. They tried to hit big Mark Haley all the time. They're trying to pass the ball a lot more.
Space in the far side again for Moore. Good positioning there by Ferguson. Great ball in. It's well taken by Howie. Very difficult indeed. That was hit with a lot of power across the face of goal by Ferguson.
There's that passing game again. A lovely ball by Craig Moore. Well taken by Ian Ferguson. Comes in here, tries to hit it across the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper Scott Howie makes a great save. Good pair of hands, and there was the defender to try and cover as well. But a good shot across the face of goal. A good start, a good test early on for Scott Howie.
A foul there by Goff on Coyne. Motherwell anxious to get these 2 men involved, Arnott and Coyne. And Arnott not far away from that. The angle ball played in by Paul Lambert. Scored 3 times in the 4 matches last season, Arnott, for Motherwell against Rangers. Lovely run across Gordon Petrie, just slightly inches. If he was probably a bigger man, or 2 or 3 inches, then he could have got a bit of a good head onto that. But a good ball in and a good run across the defender by Dougie Arnott. 34 years old. Still very lively indeed. Youngest man in the field is Craig Moore. Gascoigne holding off McSkimming. Very strong in possession, protecting the ball. And that's given straight back to Motherwell. Goff's pass.